I wonder if you really, really broke it down. I wonder how these guys both really feel. I think for Mike Krzyzewski, he's beyond all of this, right? His deal is, man, I'll go to the Final Four. And probably for Hubert Davis, I'll go to the Final Four and play whoever. And if you're Hubert Davis, what an opportunity, right? I've talked about this. Holy hell. You get the chance to not only knock out K at home on his last home game, but knock out K forever. However, at North Carolina, remember, Bill Guthridge would go to Final Fours like it was his job, and it was, and then they wanted him out of there. They're never going to want, I don't think ever going to want Hubert out of there because he's the best dude ever, and he's been to one Final Four in 1 year. However, losing this to North Carolina kind of negates the last home game. Doesn't take it away, but it kind of negates it. For Duke, oh man, this is retribution. This is, man, we get a chance to erase this crap and eliminate our arch rival from any shot of a national championship in the first time we've ever played each other. This is freaking awesome if you're Carolina and if you're Duke. But from a Duke standpoint, it's retribution against one of the most historic wins in the history of North Carolina. Think about how hard that is. Think about how hard it is to have a historic win at North Carolina with all the winning they've done. But this is an opportunity to maybe have the most historic weekend in the history of North Carolina. Let's be honest. You knock Duke out first time you played them, you knock Coach K out forever, and you win a national championship. You tell me, Carolina fans, is there anything that could possibly be better than that? There is only one Coach K. There is only one opportunity to knock him out, and you have that chance. That's why I think this game at 8:49 on Saturday is going to be so good. So ridiculously good. It may be tight. Whoever cannot be tight is going to win this game. I think Duke's going to win the game. I'm going to give the 4. I think Duke's just a better team. And I think at some point, all these threes, and I mean big-time threes, particularly from Caleb Love, that they threw in, I don't think it's going to happen for them. I'm taking Duke. I think it's going to be a back-and-forth game. Then I think Duke eventually wins by 5, 6, 7. I think they're the better basketball team, and I think they're playing great. But the one thing, the one guy in this game, the one matchup in this game that is going to be fascinating for me, it may not determine the game. Everybody wants to say this matchup or that matchup will determine the game. This may not determine the game, but it's going to be fun to watch, is Mark Williams against Armando Bacot. Let me tell you something about Armando Bacot. He is playing his ass off. When he dove, saved the ball, flipped it back, it eventually got over on the right side to Caleb Love for the tying 3. One of the great plays in the NCAA tournament, if not the best play in this year's NCAA tournament. It saved the day for Carolina. Middle ball screen, all these different guards, whether it's Love or Davis or Black, coming off middle ball screen, playing two-man basketball in the center of the court with Bacot has been terrific, and it is an Achilles heel of Duke, except I think Mark Williams is playing great. I think Mark Williams against Bacot is the best matchup in this tournament. I think Mark Williams is a top 10 pick in the NBA draft. I have no idea if he is. I have no idea where all the little goofy dudes that never played, never coached, and don't know their ass from third base but are draft experts. I have no idea where they put Mark Williams, but I will tell you this. Mark Williams, to me, is a top 10 player in the NBA draft. He can get the ball in around the bucket. He's long as hell. He blocks shots, but he's going to have his hands full with a guy in Armando Bacot that's playing great. That is the matchup of this weekend. I think it's the best matchup of this weekend, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm taking Duke. I'm giving the 4, but I don't love it. If you told me North Carolina was going to win and asked me how they were going to win, I'll tell you. Same way they won at Duke. And that's this. Middle ball screen. Keep the ball moving. Drive, and more drive. And frankly, if you really want to know the truth, it's no real different with Duke. If either team settles for quick jacked up threes, they're going to go on the team against them is going to go on a run. And both teams, North Carolina and Duke, will settle at different times for jacking up threes. Touch the paint either by throwing it into the post or driving it into the lane. You don't necessarily only have to touch the paint by throwing it on the block. Drive it, kick it, drive it again, kick it again. And once you get it in the paint, a lot of guys can lift up and make shots. A lot of guys can drop it down to a big. A lot of guys can kick it out for a three. It's interesting to watch. If I, meaning Duke, or I, meaning Carolina, can keep my man in front of me and not need help, I'm going to have a good defensive game and we're going to win the game, but I don't think either team can. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Duke wins it. I think Duke wins it by 5 or more. Next game is interesting, Villanova, Kansas. I'm going to throw some numbers at you. Look, I watch ESPN and I watch CBS, and you can tell an analyst that doesn't know his ass from third base when they just throw numbers at you sitting at a desk. And you got a lot of them. But let me throw a few at you. Here's what Kansas has done defensively. Kansas in this I'm sorry, let me go Villanova first. I want to go Villanova first. Because Justin Moore out, Villanova, I don't know if they're going to have a chance in this game, but let me go through the numbers. Justin Moore is a good defender, but he's not the best. Delaware scored 60. Ohio State scored 61. 55 is what Michigan scored. And then 44 is what Houston scored. Think about that in modern college basketball, where we're getting up and down the court, we're shooting threes, we got a shot clock, 60, 61, 55, and 44. Tell you this, Villanova's guard, very underrated. Or maybe they aren't underrated. Maybe they are rated. But I know this, they're guarding their ass off. So is Kansas. Kansas, 56, Texas Southern, 72 against Creighton. Tough game. Creighton was making shots. 61 and 50 with a 15-point second half for Miami. Let me go through some other numbers. You know Miami. This is interesting. Miami was only 3 of 31 from 3. Providence, 4 of 23 from 3. Those two numbers are interesting. You know why? Creighton shot a good number. If you can shoot and get open threes against Kansas, you can play Kansas. But if you can't get open threes, contested threes are hard, particularly in a dome. That's going to be a big deal in this game. Both teams can guard. Who's going to guard the three better? Both teams guard the three. I wish Justin Moore was playing. If Justin Moore was playing, man, would I feel good about Villanova. But I just don't think Villanova's got enough offense without Justin Moore against a really good defensive team. I think Justin Moore's a shot maker. I think Justin Moore's a shot go-getter. But the truth of the matter is Kansas is going to guard you. Now, that doesn't mean this is going to be a rout. I don't think so. I think Kansas will win the game, and I think they'll cover. I think it's going to be Kansas, Duke, and I think both are going to cover. I think at last I saw, which was this morning, it was 4.5. Kansas was giving Villanova. I think they'll cover that fairly easy. And I do think their offense can get clicking, I do. But, man, that Kansas defense is damn good, and so is that Villanova defense. But I just think without Justin Moore, you got more playmakers. And with Remy Martin playing the way he plays, you got more guys that can go get shots. And I think that's what this game comes down to. You know, it's funny, when you talk to people that don't really know hoops and hate you on Twitter or hate you because you do a game and you're not nice to their team, when you talk about a team that can make shots, they show their ignorance and go, oh, really, Dan? Didn't know what the game is? No. The game is far more than just making shots. The game is about togetherness in tough times.